What's going on, everyone? You're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to look at how to calculate the best value or the best buy when you're shopping for two items that are pretty similar. This is absolutely something that you are going to do in the real world. Being able to compare two things quickly will save you a lot of money and a lot of stress when you're trying to buy the best thing. I guarantee you it's something that you will use forever. So a really good example of this is something like chocolate. You can have two different sizes, like the fun size ones that are just one bar at the very front of the store, or you could get the block. Even though the smaller bars are cheaper, they're usually more expensive in comparison to how much you could get for the whole block. So being able to work out which one's the better value quickly might save you money down the line, and it will probably help convince your mum to buy you the big block instead of the small one if you can prove it to her mathematically. The maths behind this is that the price per gram does not stay the same. Usually buying in bulk is cheaper. This could be because there's less wrapping, less shipping costs, or anything like that. But a major part of it is the companies want you to buy more stuff. So if you buy a bigger block and feel like you get better value, you might be buying more of their product over and over again. So just making sure that even though something's better value doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good deal for you, because you might not need a whole block of chocolate, you just need the one bar. Most supermarkets do show you the per 100 gram price of an item, and this is a really quick way to compare something. But if you're buying stuff not at the supermarket, learning how to calculate this for yourself is incredibly important. We're going to look at an example here. We've got two bars of chocolate and we want to work out what's the better value. We've got a 50 gram bar for $1.50 or a 200 gram bar for $4. Which one should you buy? The way that I want you to set these up is to have all four of these values that we can see in a line up the top. We're going to be working down the page. What's really important is we need to get to a common grammage. We want to find out how much does it cost per gram. So for this one, because I've got 50 and 200, both pretty easy numbers to use, I'm going to try to find the 100 gram price for both of them, and then I can tell which one's cheaper. Because if one's cheaper for 100 grams, it's always going to be cheaper or better value. So all I've got to do is turn that 50 grams into 100 grams, and I know I could do that by multiplying by 2. Because this 50 grams and $1.50 are on the same side, because I'm multiplying this by 2, I've also got to multiply the $1.50 by 2. So I'm getting 100 grams is equal to $3. That's the price per 100 grams on this side. Then I've got to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm turning 200 grams into 100 grams. This time I've got to divide by 2 instead of multiply by 2. Because I'm dividing by 2, I've got to divide the price by 2 as well. So that's equal to $2. Now we can see really easily that 100 grams for $3 or 100 grams for $2, the bigger block is better value. There is a little shortcut for this as well. If you can get to the same grammage as one of the things really quickly, you can do it on just one side. So for example, if I'm going to turn that 50 grams into 200 grams, then on both sides, I'll have the 200 gram price. So to turn 50 into 200, I've got to multiply it by 4. So then I've got to multiply that $1.50 by 4 as well. This is equal to $6. Really quickly, you can see that 200 grams for $6 is a way worse deal than 200 grams for $4. Obviously, that's cheaper. So you can use either method, just making sure that we're comparing the two amounts. Getting to the same grammage is incredibly important. Sometimes though, the numbers aren't going to be nice like they were in that example. 50 and 200, super easy to find either 100 or 200 without having to think that hard. If this is the case, what you've got to do is find one unit, 1 gram or one item, and this is the unitary method that we've talked about before. So finding the price of 1 unit for both of them will tell you which one is cheaper overall, which one has the better value. So for this example, I've got batteries, and to compare the two, I want to find the price of one battery. So again, I'm going to make them all up the top. I've got 4 numbers up the top, and I've got to work from there. In both of these examples, I am trying to find the one battery, and that's the most important part. So this first one, I'm turning that 12 into a 1, so I have to divide by 12. I've got to divide the price by 12 as well. So $14.90 divided by 12, just do it in your calculator, is equal to $1.24 per battery. That's how much it's going to cost you. Then on the other side, I've got 15 batteries is $19.50, and I've got to find the price of 1. Because I'm on this side, I'm finding one of them, I've got to divide by 15. So I've got to divide the price by 15 as well. This one here, $19.50 divided by 15 is equal to $1.30. So this one, even though we talked about how bulk is usually cheaper, we can see pretty quickly that $1.24 is cheaper than $1.30. Obviously 6 cents doesn't seem like a huge amount of money to freak out about, but if you're running a business and buying millions and millions of batteries, that kind of saving could really help your business out. So in this example, the $12 batteries were cheaper because the price of one battery was 6 cents cheaper, and that's all you need to work out. The big pro tip for this lesson is always search for nice numbers first. If you can get away with doing less work and not dealing with decimal points as much, it's definitely worth it. Only use the unitary method if there isn't a nice number, like those 50s and 200s. Thanks so much for watching this lesson, guys, and I'll see you later.